Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Saturday. This is a nice, warm July Saturday evening of 2023, and this is a new episode of the Right Info Podcast Show with your host, Kane Twan speaking. And my last podcast was on the 4th of July. That was the last one I gave. It dealt with economic situations, past and present. If you go to the blog where it covers, that's what you'll be looking at. Now, this podcast I talk about discusses the past recession and the American dream of education, of course. Now, this blog post, well, you might as well call it a podcast because they're hooked up together, aims to analyze the ill effects of the recession we recently had back in 2008, which occurred, and the terrible consequences which families, students, and children in America are currently facing or were facing back in 2008. This blog/podcast explores the dreams and future hopes of families with regard to the academic, professional prospects of their children, with the objective determining the severity of the economic downturn and its terrible effects on the lives of numerous Americans and their hopes for a better future. The effects of the staggering economy of the United States is a phenomenon which has had a global effect. It affected the whole world, of course. As such, one can very well have had to forego their dreams of enhanced ideas of the students of the United States, especially those students who had to forego their dreams of college or whatever where they want to go into, or prospects due to the terrible recession which has touched the entire world. The recession that we had back in 2008 not only affected America, it affected the entire world, all because of a housing crisis that we had here in the U.S. Now, the case of one student, for example, is an excellent example of the manner in which the youth and teen student population of America has been hit really hard. This student completed her high school work with flying colors, with the hope that she will be attending part of the Clark Atlanta University, which she wanted to attend. Now, the student had hoped to secure herself a place in the university on the basis of her 2008 TASL, which would enable her to continue her education at CAU under the quote-unquote Touch the Future Head Start Scholarship, which would cover her maximum school costs. Now, however, harsh economic realities have deterred her dreams for the present, and she is instead forced to forego her dreams due to the uncertainty of her father's job and her mother's failed attempts to start a new business. Nevertheless, despite all odds, the current young generation has adjusted to other harsh realities and have learned to make serious sacrifices in their life. Children and students are looking for schools and colleges, quote unquote, close to home, while some are delaying school altogether or even going to less prestigious schools like 2-year colleges or trading schools, while some are taking up small jobs to stay on track, displaying optimism and faith in their future rather than pessimism and hopelessness. What I mean to say in this podcast is, yes, times did get hard back during the 2008 housing crisis that we had. And most students that wanted to attend main 4-year colleges, they couldn't because the money wasn't right. Things wasn't very much taken care of. And it's just the whole housing situation back in 2008 affected everyone. It affected America, it affected the world. It affected those who had good jobs, and it affected those students who wanted to attend the good schools, the best any place in America or the world had to offer. But they couldn't. They didn't have the money. They didn't have the resources. And whatever time that they had to forward it toward other things. And that was outright wrong. That didn't very much make any sense. But it was sad. But it was a sad reality because of a recession that happened back in 2008. Took a toll on everyone down the line. Now, things have gotten better. This is 2023. 2008 was about 15 years ago, but still, that's besides the point. A whole lot has changed during the 15 years since that recession has happened, and we're very much out of it. Our economy is getting a bit stronger now. Things are looking good, but things are, kind of not bad, but in a way, I'll say that word, trying to, make the best of it. It's the situation is trying to make itself the best of it, no matter what. And, just have to buckle down. This is advice I give to students or those who lost their jobs. Buckle down. Don't give up hope. Keep hope alive. Make sure, keep hope alive from Jesse Jackson, of course. That just popped up in my head, just quoting him. And just do what you got to do to make sure to make your future bright. A person can make his or her future bright. A past recession shouldn't affect a future goal or whatever bad situation, financial or what, make anything go wrong. Keep your thoughts open, have your prayers, and hopefully, just hopefully, you can get into that school that you want to go to or get that job that you want really bad because you put in the work and you're putting in the work to make yourself not good or better, but the best. And, with that being said, I was glad to deliver this podcast. It's been a long time since I delivered one. The last one was on the 4th of July. And this one is a new one that I'm doing right now. It's been a while. I'll be catching up with more podcasts, more content for everyone to be reading and listening. And with that being said, this is the end of the Right Info Podcast Show with your host, Kane Twan speaking. Hope everybody have a great evening and so long. Take care. Good night. Love you all. Bye-bye.